Pissed. Oh, what a freaking mess. A little bit of a lag. Oh, what a freaking mess. A little bit of a lag. As soon as I add that, it goes click.
Freaking mess.
little bit of a lag. That it goes freaking mess. Little bit of a lag. That it. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Little bit of a lag. That it. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Little bit of a lag. That it. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Little bit of a lag. That it. Let's see if I can see all of a sudden low output, and I just don't get it, man. I'm trying to fix this for the week so that it works for the week. And dude, struggling. Struggle bus, right? Cannot believe it. Getting tired of it, dude. Getting tired of the struggle bus. Having to try to get this shit up. Struggle bus, right? Oh man. Just hurts my soul. Like every time I try to get this going, it's just like, hey, your stuff is not good enough. Bothers me. All of this should be working. Trying to get this thing off the ground, Raichu. That's what I'm trying to do. Or at least attempt to. Trying to get this thing off the ground, Raichu. If I can get this off the ground, then it might work. I like it though. I like that nonsense. It's just struggling to get going. It's only using about 36%. How about that? How about them apples? One dick punch after another. One dick punch after another. Just one dick punch after another. If it's not one thing, it's another thing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this freaking stream to just work. See, and as soon as I take OBS Streamlabs off, the stream's running fine just with regular OBS. Oh my lord, I'm so pissed. Okay, all right. That's how we're gonna start the stream out, huh? That's how we're gonna start this stream out, huh? I guess I'm gonna have to edit this video a little bit later and then go from there. I'm not watching this Georgia Alabama game. I'm not even gonna do. I'm just gonna roll with it as it is. I don't even know what's going on. But let me know how the Georgia Alabama game is going if you guys are. Go to the game. I'm gonna go to the ticker on the thing, but I watch this.
He once saved 2 birds with one.
I have no interest in it whatsoever. I'm sorry, and people are gonna be mad at me for not wanting to watch this game. But I'm just, for some reason, I've just had no interest in it whatsoever. And I want to have interest. Somebody actually invited me to go out, and I was like, I'm not feeling so great, under the weather. But this stream is just open for those who want to ask questions, hang out, chill. talk about the game that's going on right now, talking about possible picks, while I get ready to work on this Takk McKinley tape for the third time or fourth time now. So a pick. There was a pick. So Georgia threw a pick. Interesting. So are we confirming Georgia for losing to Alabama? Is that what we're doing right now? Confirm for Georgia losing to Alabama. Holy moly. Right on it, huh? I didn't give Damian Harris enough credit in my stream a while ago. But this Georgia team's they're gonna have struggle bus going on. They're gonna have to take this all the way to the very end. If they don't, then their teeth stomped in. So this is just a open Q&A. Anything that you want to knock out with asking me anything about this channel or anything about the Falcons or whatever, you guys are more than welcome to do that. I'm cleaning up the channel a little bit, trying to figure out what the best way to stream on here is and kind of get some done. How's my day? My day's been okay. My wife's been sick. I'm trying not to catch what she has. My birthday is tomorrow. So I'm getting ready. Your thoughts on Vegas, T, and the talking heads picking Atlanta over Philly. They have the justification to do it. They're wising up. Wise up, rise up. And I only speak facts on this channel. So with the pundits and the 4-letter network guys, the 3-letter network guys, and the talking heads, and and that's all fine and dandy. But when Vegas pulls out stuff, and look, I know that Colin Cowherd is a strong believer in Vegas. Vegas is usually right. They put their money where their mouth is because they don't want to lose their money. Okay, they've put 2.5 points into Atlanta's favor on the road. So that says something. That says that they believe in Atlanta's defense, Atlanta's passing game, Atlanta's run game, the weather, and they believe in Matt Ryan more than they believe in Nick Folk. And that is just the bottom line because Cold Stone Steve Austin said so. That's just what's up. I just like how a lot of people are out there throwing around all kinds of news and notes out there and thinking that it's going to be either super easy because everybody's jumping on the bandwagon for the Falcons, or that this game is going to be a fight to the very finish. And I'm just saying, look, guys, keep your eyes open, your ears open, okay? And get ready for a good game. Enjoy the football, like I said on this channel, and I've said on many other outlets as well. Enjoy the football, man. Like, you're in playoffs, enjoy the football. Enjoy each game. Don't worry about the grind. 17 weeks where you're having to go through, oh, can we win this game? Oh, can we win that game? Get us into position to go to the playoffs. We're in it to win it now, and that's all that matters, right? We're in it to win it, and that is all that matters. All that matters. Raichu's like, I feel like Nick Foles will surprise us. A lot of people expect Foles to poop the bed on Saturday, and I don't believe that. But I do believe that Nick Foles will go out there. He'll be a good quarterback. Question is, will Takk McKinley, Big Beasley, Adrian Claiborne, especially with a backup left tackle out there, will they be able to hold up against this Falcons defense that's going to come after them? And I say no. I say no. This Falcons defense held the number one offense in the league to just under 2.4 yards after the catch and only let up, one touchdown. So, yeah. That's my thoughts, at least, on it. And this Eagles team's going to come in here with just a very balanced defense and offense. And the only thing that was surprising about them was Carson Wentz playing out of his mind until he got injured. So that may work in our favor. Like I say on this channel all the time, I don't like to see people get hurt and any fan base to have an excuse of why we weren't able to win a game or they weren't able to win a game, including ourselves. I don't like that kind of nonsense. I don't like any of that. Very interesting to see, and especially after going back and watching the tape a little bit, to see this Falcons defense so quick and then to turn into a prevent type of defense with multiple DBs back there. Just speaks to what Dan Quinn wants to do and how Dan Quinn's locking it down now. So I like it. I like it a lot. Open questions, guys. You can ask whatever you like. Share the link to this channel as well as the live stream to your fams and friends and to your Falcons groups, wherever you may come from. Yeah, I've got 0 drop frames right now using regular OBS. And I'm using about 8.9. That's as of right now. It just dropped again, but I was using 8.9 CPU, and it's dropping anywhere in between 2 and 9 CPU being used. So that right there says one thing, that the Streamlabs OBS thing is fun. It's cool looking, but that's just an overlay to OBS. And number 2, their advertisement of it, dropping less frames and running less CPU is a bunch of BS. On a scale of 1 to 10, how shocked were you when the Titans came back? Chiefs. To be honest with you, I didn't really watch the game live. I actually watched the highlights afterwards, and surprised that the Titans could come back from such a deficit. Not surprised that the Titans beat the Chiefs, because I've said all year that the Chiefs were pretenders, and Chiefs fans told me to, F off and unsubscribe to my channel and all that good stuff. So, thoughts on Saints versus Vikings? Gonna be the toughest game of the weekend. There's either gonna be one thing or another. The Falcons-Philly game is gonna come down to the wire with some scores here or there, because the turf is going to be not a monster there. The run game and the pass game will probably come out again as a huge factor. But again, like I said, the bigger game is going to be the Saints versus the Vikings. It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be one of the best defenses left in the playoff picture versus one of the most potent offenses in the playoff picture. And if the Vikings beat the Saints, all you need to know is that the Saints defense was not good enough. If the Vikings beat the Saints, it'll be because the Vikings held the Saints to no points and were able to just barely squeak by them on a few points. And the other situation is that the Falcons and the Eagles game is more of a game between two balanced teams, and it's going to be who has the most experience and who makes the least amount of mistakes. So my thoughts on Minnesota. Oh, by the way, the scale on 1 to 10, I was probably like a 4, as far as shocked that the Titans beat the Chiefs, but like a 7, shocked that they were able to come back from that deficit. I think Saints versus Vikings will be a shootout. I don't. I think that the Saints defense is okay. Not great. It's okay. But their offense is what's really driving them. They were able to outgun Cam Newton and the Panthers. And again, Cam Newton and the Panthers came to play against the New Orleans Saints, and they made their own mistakes. They made their own mistakes on both sides of the ball. Their defense is not as good as advertised, and their offense was very, one-trick pony-esque. So I think the Panthers could have, but they didn't, beat the Saints, and the top scoring offense left would have been New Orleans, and they would have gotten knocked out. So the only reason why is because they're in an enclosed stadium. I don't think that's true. The whole stadium nonsense and taking weather out of it is one thing, but if you're a team that can play both ways, it really doesn't matter if you're in a stadium or not. And the Saints have proven that they can go outside and go play. The problem is that the Panthers went out and played a bad game. excited for any upcoming games or movies this far. Mine is Far Cry 4 and Black Panther. I'm on the train with Black Panther because I'm really excited to see that movie. That's I think my next big movie. I haven't seen the new Star Wars yet, but maybe it's because I've fallen off the ledge of the go crazy for Star Wars because Star Wars has gone in such a weird direction. But I think my game that I'm excited for is probably Sea of Thieves. I'm excited to play Sea of Thieves. I might even get some grounders to come play with me on Sea of Thieves on my stream on Twitch. That might be a lot of fun. And actually I'm excited for early March, because that is the beginning of the MLS season. Sea of Thieves will already be out as an Xbox game. What else is happening? I'd have to be reminded. Missed a 40-yard field. Red Dead Redemption. I don't know what I'm feeling about Red Dead Redemption. Just recently watching some Hiromi Kenshin just a minute ago. That's taking you throwback Thursday-esque. Taking you back. Remember, guys, this is a completely open Q&A. You have any questions about me, any questions about this channel, any questions about my likes or dislikes, any questions about the Falcons, any questions about film breakdowns that I'm going to be doing, any questions about the coming year for the channel. You know, I'm hoping that by the end of this month, we are over 2,000 subs, and I will have been a month off from my prediction that we will have gone over 2,000 subs in a year. So it will have taken us 13 months to go over 2,000 subs. And in my mind, since I wasn't even pushing hard from the beginning of January all the way until, I want to say, somewhere around June, I wasn't even pushing hard at all. So it's really cool to see the channel grow so quickly. But if we can get to 2,000 subs by the end of January, I will feel like we accomplished one of the major goals, which I'm going to probably put as a major goal for this channel going forward, is we must get to 2,000 subs. 2,000 subs, because there's a Saints channel right now that's almost to 2,100 subs. And when a Saints channel has 2,100 subs and a Falcons channel that I can see multiple groups on Facebook and multiple groups elsewhere have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Falcons fans, we need to bring those people in here. So I need some of my grounders to go out and start kind of advertising. You know? I know this channel is not 100% just for the Falcons, but it is a huge Falcons den, and I want people to be able to come in here, rest in the nest, no pun intended, and be able to enjoy and have fun. What about signing Star Lotulelei to replacing Poe? Should be a cheaper, provide a nice run defense and asset. Troy, I don't think that's a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cheaper option. Problem is will he sign with us? Does he want to play football anymore? And there's even cheaper options than that when you go to the draft. So, again, going to the draft and getting a defensive tackle is number one. Even if it's not Vita Vea, it's like Taven Bryan or, Payne or, Wilkins or somebody. And this is a double-edged sword for me. When we get deeper into the playoffs and we get stabbed by going deeper into the playoffs and destroy draft capital, it hurts me. But if we can go deep into the playoffs and make it to another Super Bowl, then I don't have any problem with it. That in-between space, you won a wild card seed. You're like, you didn't even win the division, The mindset is different. And then you beat your first team as a wild card, and you're like, oh boy. Now, the team that won your division won. You won. And now you have to play two more tough teams just to make it to the bowl, So it was always going to be us winning 4 games, but I thought that maybe somewhere in the beginning of the season we would have won a couple of extra games and gone in and gotten some home field advantage to make me feel a little bit better. Thank you, Kaylon. I appreciate that. I've taken a break from some of my film breakdowns, and I keep promising to put some up. And Tack McKinley actually has been liking my film breakdowns, which is hilarious. So since he's done that, I kind of have backed off a little bit and said, you know what? I really need to know what I'm talking about. Like, I know what I'm talking about, but I need to sound more genuine. And I just need to be more laid back and relaxed, you know? I think right after this, I'm probably going to go do a film breakdown. And maybe have one of my friends come in there and do a collab breakdown with me. I wouldn't mind if, Falcons Freak comes in and does a film breakdown with me. I still want to, I want to actually meet Raichu for the win, though. He seems like a cool dude. He seems like a really neat guy. What's going on, Brazilian X Skills? Good to see you. We're just doing live Q&A, just talking, chilling. If the Jags and Titans come out with a win. Now, the Titans one is really, really difficult, but let's see what Patriots team comes out. And then the Jags one, I believe in the Jags much more than I believe in the Titans, but I believe that they can beat the Steelers. That's a good team on defense, at least. So if the Jags can just score a couple of points, they might do what we did to the Rams, where you just, death by 1,000 field goals. And that's not a bad thing. That just means that you're going down there and scoring half the points that you should be, but you're still scoring points. And if you can limit it into none or very little, you've done your job, right? Who do you want for the Falcons to draft in this game? Are you talking about UGA versus Alabama? Because then I might have one or two guys that I would think about. If we're not going to get one of the best defensive tackles in the draft, or at least in the first round anyway, and Brazilians like, yes, definitely that. Okay. My thoughts are, if we are going to go grab ourselves a Sam linebacker in the first round, it had better be either the Alabama dude, Rashad. Can't remember his name. I had to go look at him again. Or what is that? Raekwon Smith from Georgia. Either one of those would be very good Sam linebackers to me. But again, it's not a very sexy pick. It really isn't. But dividends will pay dividends in the long run. I think it would pay dividends in the long run anyway. Whether you get the defensive tackle that you want or you go get yourself an outside linebacker, I would not be upset if we had 3 Clemson defensive linemen. I'm just saying. Raekwon, Deion Jones would be a lethal combination. And you're forgetting about Devondre Campbell, who seems to be getting better and better and better each game. That LASIK helped his eyes. He's out there balling, and he's learning how to cover a little bit better each game. He's getting a lot better. Raekwon and Deion Jones plus Devondre Campbell, that's a starting linebacking core that's fast. That's a fast linebacking core. Yeah, and with Duke Riley right behind them, kind of being becoming more of a special teams ace. He's tackling a little bit better. He's blocking a little bit better. And we saw when he was thrown into the fire that he was learning, even if it was at a slower pace than we were hoping. But he was still doing well. With him behind all 3 of the guys that were previously mentioned, I think we would have a very interesting linebacking core for the future. And then go grab ourselves a defensive tackle, plop him in there, and then go get ourselves, like a corner, or wide receiver, tight end, fullback. I do want Beasley back at full time, and I liked that he was getting some reps at linebacker so that he can learn a little bit more about coverage, because it's always good to teach your faster, skinnier ends coverage ability. But at the same time, Vic Beasley's true calling is to rush the passer. Alabama's score is 0-0. Cannot believe that. It actually has mine frozen right now, so I don't know. So Alabama punted to Georgia, and Georgia just
prime time.
See how Jalen Hurts 2 of 5 for 17 yards, and who is Fromm? 3 of 7, 17 yards and 1 interception. Hurts 3 carries, 21 yards. Ridley 1 reception for 9 yards. Godwin 2 receptions. Time of possession not in their favor right now, and total yards not in their favor right now if you're talking about Georgia. David Wright, what's going on, man? Great to see you. Our offensive line has to reset because it will be tough. We will have a scheme for Philly. We will have a scheme for every single person that comes through. Just to piggyback on what you're talking about, we'll have a scheme for every single team that we play through this playoff period. And if we beat Philadelphia, another team that we didn't mess with during the regular season, and they didn't mess with us during the regular season, then we will be, if we deal with that, then we will be playing one of the teams that we've already combated, and we are 1-2 against all time in this previous season. Because we lost to the Vikings, we lost to the Saints once, and we've beaten the Saints once. So we're 1-2 against that grouping of teams, whoever comes and faces us. So we're gonna be playing somebody. Poor Troy Mackey wants to know if do I like driving Lyft? Best story for me. Well, I've stopped driving a little bit, like not completely stopped, but I've been focusing on the channel, trying to push really hard for people to support on the Patreon so that I don't have to take a month or two absence from the channel and do this limited and go out and go take a day job or something like that. I do Lyft a lot. So I guess one of my weirdest stories, like, do you want a weird story or you want like a cool story? I'll tell you a cool story and a weird story. Philly secondary is that good. Establish the run. Yeah, true. Drew Brees is scary. You know? Not much, David. It's open questions, so whatever you wanna ask. Stuff about me, my likes or tastes or whatever. Stuff about the Falcons, stuff about the channel, stuff about the coming year. I can answer any of those questions. True. Do you even lift, bro? Okay, so the weirdest story was I picked up somebody here in Orlando, but I didn't pick up the person who was asking for the lift. I picked up somebody that was paying for the lift, but having somebody else ride with me. So I picked this person up, and it's a dude in like a bathrobe, and he's clearly wearing only like pants, and he's got this bathrobe on, and this chick comes out of his house, and he comes up to my door and asks me to roll the window down. So I roll the window down, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so I'm paying for her lift. She needs to go back to the middle of the city, and is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But if you do for any reason turn off or exit the ride, I'm gonna have to drop her off wherever I stop. You know, I'm like a taxi service, you know. So I take her out down the road. I just thought it was really weird because the kind of clothes she was wearing, and the kind of guy that he kind of seemed, he was an older guy. And he's not really wearing anything. He was wearing a bathrobe and some pants and some slippers, like flip-flops. The ones that go in between the toes. That's what he was wearing. So I was like sketchy of this ride, but hey, the ride says it's going to be a $20 ride, and I'm like, heck yeah. Like, she has to go almost like 40 minutes wherever I'm dropping her off. So I drive her all the way down, and she talks a little bit to me about, she goes all around town every week, and I never, through the whole ride, ask her what her job is or occupation. I just take her where she needs to go. I'm not like that. So we talk about sports, we talk about football, we talk about soccer, and she's a really cool person. And then I get to her destination, and we are at a hotel. And I drop her off, and I notice that she is putting on makeup, and she's getting out of my car now, and she knocks on my window. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I wanted to tip you, but I don't have the phone, so I want to tip you in cash." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. That's fine." And she pulls out three $20 bills and puts it in my passenger seat, and she says bye and goes running off in high heels. And I roll up my window and I turn off my app. And so $60 had just been thrown in my car in cash. And I'm like, did I just give a ride to a hooker? Did I just give a ride to like a service girl? Because she wasn't like scantily dressed. She was dressed like nice. Like she was dressed in like a really nice outfit. It was very nice. It wasn't like skanky or anything. She's just wearing a really nice outfit. And I take her on this ride, and she's super nice, super cool. And I drop her off, and I just notice that she's putting on makeup in my car. She's going into a hotel. She drops three $20 bills in my in my seat. And so I'm like, man, not a lot of people carry just 320s in their back pocket, dude. I don't know a lot of people that are friends with me who carry cash, And so, that was a little strange, but it was cool because I was like, I made $60. I can go home. Like I made $40 off the ride itself, but she didn't pay me. And so she then threw down a tip that she couldn't give me through the app, and she gave me $60. So I'm just sitting here with $100. I'm like, she was super nice, and I'm not going to judge her for however she works. That was very nice of her. So I go driving off, right? And when you're not done with the ride, people can like call you back or message you back. And like if they accidentally leave something in your car, and I get a message from the guy, and he goes, "Hey, I need another ride. Can you give me another ride? But can we do it off the app? Because I want to pay you $450 for 3 rides after this." And I look at my app that has the chat on it, and I'm like, $450 off the app so that I don't get tracked wherever I'm going. And he needs 4 rides. So I'm screenshotting all of this shit. That's it. I'm screenshotting all of it. Screenshotting every single thing that's on my phone. Screenshot all of it. Block his number. Block incoming messages from him. And immediately go to the help part of my app and get in contact with somebody on the phone. I'm like, something's not right here. Okay? I don't like this. I feel kind of threatened. I kind of feel in danger here. I'm not a little guy. I'm 5'11", 5'10". And So I'm average size. But this guy, I don't want to go back to his house. I do kind of feel unsafe, not secure going back to this guy's house. And so I finally get on the phone with Lyft support. They're like, hey, can you email us where he came from, what your trip was about? So I send him all the info. I send this guy all the info, where I was, how long my trip was. I send them the text messages. I send them the quotes he sent me. I send him the pickup from where I got the girl to where I dropped the girl off. And I'm like, hey, look, that's just a little not right, okay? I'm riding with Lyft, not Uber, okay? Uber, I hear the horror stories all the time. Uber guy calls for an Uber. You pick him up. He's got a gun. Guy in the car has a gun because he knows he's an Uber rider. Lyft horror stories don't happen, you know? They just don't. And so they go, you are officially blocked from him ever calling you for a ride ever again. And now we're going to put him on a watch list, and we're actually going to be contacting the authorities. And that's what I got on an email was, we're contacting the authorities. We're going to be doing this and that. Would you mind for a follow-up? And I was like, could I please not have a follow-up? I just feel unsafe. And this guy doesn't live too far from where I live. And I just want to not ever have to see this person ever again. They're like, no problem. It's over. So that all ends. I'm like, wow, that was horrible. So same week, that was the horror story. Here is the cool story. So the cool story is, same week, I made, that $100 from that ride, and I had a couple of rides here and there, $8 ride, $5 ride, $10 ride, $12 ride. I'm getting some rides here and there, pumping up the gas, whatnot. I get a ride request. And so I ride all the way out, to go get something. Pick up some Starbucks for the guy that I'm picking up. I was near a Starbucks anyway. I was like, hey, guy, what's your favorite drink from Starbucks? Pick you up Starbucks, from some of the tip money that I have. I had still gotten that, $60 worth of tip money from Miss Escort. So, I'd throw some money down at the Starbucks, go get this guy a drink because I'm a nice guy. Give him his iced tea. I have a coffee. And the ride pops up, and it's an hour and a half long ride. I'm like, wow, you're going a really long ways, my dude. You're almost going to 95. Because I'm picking you up all the way over here on the other side of me in Kissimmee. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I'll pick you up. I'll take you all the way out there to go do whatever you're doing. Nicest guy. Tennessee Vols fan, super nice guy. We're talking. He's talking about his pickup truck, talking about how he got it lifted. He's getting the bigger wheels. I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, it got into an accident, and I just wanted to. I'm just going to go out there and go make sure that they're doing their job. They said that they were almost done, and I'm going to pay for it and whatnot. No problem. Take him all the way over. We're talking back and forth. Take him all the way out. Hour and a half. The hour and a half long ride is almost $40 for me. In just the fees alone. Plus, he kind of made me wait, so that was a $10 fee in itself. We're talking about $50, $60 now. By the time we get to his destination, Get there, drop him off. He's like, hey, dude, you were the coolest guy, and I know that Lyft takes a percentage of the money from you in there. So here, how about this? Like, you were just the coolest guy. I'm going to give you 5 stars. I thought you were awesome. Clemson guy, you were cool. Here, boom. And I'm like, no, dude, you don't have to give me a tip. And he's already turning and running. Like, he's running into the store. Happy as can be with his Starbucks drink. And I'm like, oh, cool, He gave me a tip. What not? Pick it up, and it's $100 bill. And I'm like, what? Look at this $100 bill. Slowly pull out of the complex that I dropped him at. See his giant lift truck. I'm like, who did I just give a ride to? Who did I give a ride to? He didn't look familiar. Maybe he was like just some truck fanatic. So I drive out. And, I'm like an hour and a half away from home. So I'm like, you know what? Gonna put the windows down. Just gonna ride. Gonna ride through. Gonna turn the GPS off for a minute. I'm just gonna ride the back roads back here because we're in the country at this point. We're not even near I-4 and 95 and all that. We're in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I'm just gonna ride. Not gonna worry about it. Don't have anything that I need to do today. Gonna ride. And by the time that I relax and ride through these winding roads and everything and past these little tiny dust molehill towns, get out to like some main roads that I kind of understand where I am, I pop out at I-4 and I'm like, this was the best day ever. I made like $150, $160 take home. It's all mine. And now I'm going to get to go home. And most people don't make that in a week, And that was one of the best stories I had. Once it started getting more into summer months and into the winter months of last year, I kind of started to wean away from Lyft because I wanted to grow this channel. And, we gotta get this channel up there. We gotta get 10,000, subs. But let's get that 2,000. Please share this channel to all your friends and fam and to all the Facebook and Falcons groups that Please advertise my channel a little bit to all the peeps out there because, we can bring those people in and we can have some fun talking about some football. So I see a lot of chat going on here about, hey, don't sleep on Teron Ward and whatnot. So let me kind of sketchy pepper spray. No, I don't have any pepper spray or tasers. Creepy pasta. Yeah, totally creepy pasta. Sony Michel is a really interesting running back. I really like him. I don't want to be a trade Tevin Coleman just to get a running back type of pick. I would almost say if we're not going to re-sign Poe and Claiborne, then let's give some of that money to Tico on a long-term deal. Let's give him a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal, and let's keep him around. I like this running back duo, so let's do it. And plus, Jake Matthews is like an average guy, and we can kind of be like, hey, Jake, you were injured here or there in your first couple seasons, and you've been kind of decent where you've been. We're going to talk you down on a deal. Can't pay everyone. You're right. You're right. I can dream, though. Biggest decision is keeping Grady Jarrett or Jake Matthews. Well, when you extend Matt Ryan, there's going to be some cap hit there. Then you're not re-signing Poe or Claiborne if I'm the Falcons, so you're opening up 2 spots for 2 people to come in. You are probably signing Jake Matthews. You're not going to go into the draft and go get another left tackle unless it's just that bad. Where are we? You're re-signing Grady Jarrett to a multi-year deal, at least a 4-year deal, keeping him around for a good bit. And then you have to play around with Vic Beasley, who's been inconsistent, but he's not gone until 2 years from now, so we still have an option on him. T-Goods were traded this offseason. Love him, but we can't resign him, so you might as well can. Yeah, true. They are true. That is true. It's hard to come by. Very hard to come by. Second string running backs are easy to find, but not effective second string running backs. Not like a combination like we have with Freeman and Coleman, You really got lightning in the bottle with Freeman and Coleman. I love Teron Ward, but let's not overhype Teron Ward. He ain't Coleman, okay? He ain't Tevin Coleman, okay? He doesn't have the hands like Coleman. He doesn't have the explosiveness like Coleman. He's like a Freeman again. So you'd have two Freemans. And I'm not putting Teron Ward as my second running back because he has not proven enough to me. Really has not. And we need that second option to be able to run outside more effectively and catch the ball. Grady's must keep. Georgia 3, Alabama 0. Sambrilo. Sambrilo. Get out of here. Falcons trade a 5th for Quinn has a plan for him. I think it was really just a hey, Sambrilo. He's a guy. Let's the Denver fans were laughing at us when we gave him a 5th round pick. They were like, "Yay, money in the bank." But I think it's not that great. It's not that great. Sambrilo is not that great. He really isn't. A 5th. I mean, a 5th is a 5th. But if you trade Coleman this year, you know that Gabe and Nick are going to be gone. You don't re-sign Poe or Clay. You re-sign Matthews and put a long-term deal on Ryan, at least 3 years. Then give Grady a contract that he deserves, obviously. And then go into this draft and retool the defense and go get veterans from free agency for offense. And I think you have the same team that you've had in 2016 and 2017, which is a team that, as long as they're consistent, is dangerous on defense and can score on you on offense. That's all you can ask for, right? Everyone is on our bandwagon. Yeah, true. Yeah, Ryan is getting props from Cowherd, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Mora was on today giving Ryan props. He was like, that's a quarterback that knows what he's doing. Man, there's a lot of people now jumping on the Falcons bandwagon, and it's because the defense went out there and proved their mettle. And so a lot of people are like, okay, stop the Ryan hate for just a second, and let's focus on a positive. Matt Ryan's been here before. So it's not about inconsistency. It's not about the nature of the beast, where it's like, have you been here to the playoffs? Or, have you been here to the playoffs? And Raichu's completely correct. Defense wins championships, right? Offenses can get you there and keep you in the game and run the clock and help your defense, but your defense wins championships. Is this defense deep enough to win a championship? I don't know. I don't know if this defense is deep enough to win a championship, but do I have faith in it? Yeah, heck yeah. Especially after you go out at the number 1 or number 2 offense in the league and you beat down their run game and you give them barely any yards after the catch and you limit them to 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. I mean, it is just what it is. And remember, we were missing 2 key pieces last year when we went on our Super Bowl run. Claiborne and Trufant. And now we have both of those pieces back for this run. And this year, we are not really missing anything that we were missing last year except for offensive pieces. Last year, we had DeMarco. This year, we don't. Last year's defense is still here. All of last year's defense is still here with more experience. We have both Claiborne and Trufant, and we added Tack McKinley. See, Raichu is on the fire stick right now. He is flying through the air. Raichu has hit level 99. Raichu with Thundershock Spark at level 99. So that's going to instant kill you. All you water types, beware. Sand Attack and Quick Attack. He is the scariest Raichu you have ever seen. No, Thunder Punch. Oh, man. Ish has always been solid depth. He's always been a solid player and contributor for this team. And the moment that he retires from this team, or he's done from football, or he leaves the team for better, for greener pastures wherever he goes, I'm going to be sad, because that's a University of Central Florida guy that's gone out there, worked his butt, been a safety, been a linebacker, and done nothing but a special teams ace, but done nothing but help this team going forward. His heart has gone out there, and he's. Let's see here. If you think our defense is good this year, wait till next year. I mean, yeah. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. Deion Jones was probably the biggest steal in the draft, not even going to front. True. And think about this. Takk McKinley in year 2. Oh, man. And Vic Beasley out there as a full-time pass rusher instead. Grady Jarrett, knowing that he has a fat check, that all he needs to go out there and do is work. He doesn't have to worry about money anymore. Yeah, Higgins is a pretty good wide receiver, but I would go along the lines of, hey, look, guys, I have this great idea. Amazing idea. Julio Jones was talking to Sammy Watkins at the end of the game. They barely used Sammy until the very end of the game. Sammy's probably not going to like that. He's going to think about that. It's going to burn in his brain. If Atlanta goes deep into the playoffs, Sammy's an unrestricted free agent. Why not go get Sammy Watkins? You know you're going to lose Gabe. Gabe's going to go out and sign under Shanahan out there with Nick Williams. They're going to have some guys out there. They're going to do some good things in San Francisco. And bring Sammy over here. And now the entire league is put on notice, because Sammy's going to get those screen passes. Sammy's going to get some of those end arounds. Sammy's going to extend the field. And you have Julio and Sanu out there. That's a death trap wide receiving core. We have a sub to the channel. Pack for life. A-Rod is GOAT. Thanks for the sub, dude. That's awesome. That was hilarious. If you want me to talk about A-Rod, please, by all means, in the chat. Let me hear it. That was awesome. Your username's crazy. Oh my goodness. Do you think Quinn has a plan for Witherspoon? Yes, Spoon's probably going to be gone after the season and retire. We'd get way more production with Sammy Watkins, and everything that Gabriel is doing here, Sammy Watkins can do that twofold and better. We would have to probably give him a Mohamed Sanu type contract, which would be like a 3 or 4 year deal somewhere in the $20 million range. But that ain't bad for me, because if we're doing that kind of contract, Sammy Watkins can then take over for Sanu when he's gone. Having Sanu, a chain mover, a guy that can break it, a guy that's like, why do they do that to that man? Having Sammy come out there, and I'm a Clemson guy, so I want Sammy Watkins anyway, but Sammy's a guy that can break it. We saw it in the game. They gave the ball to Sammy Watkins a couple times, and he beat us. We're like, oh boy, better put some extra check on Sammy. And then having Julio Jones. So if you're not double covering Sammy Watkins, you've got a problem. If you're not putting a good CB on Bean Talk, then you've got a problem. And I mean, you can't not double cover Julio Jones. So somebody's open somewhere. And that would just be, that's it right there. That's called screen passes. Julio and Watkins and Sanu, all getting screen passes quick. All of them are blocking wide receivers, and all of them are guys that want to get that extra yard. That's deadly. That's awesome. And he's not going to be super expensive. He really isn't. After being misused and all the injuries in Buffalo, he came to LA. in LA for what? It's been 1 season or 2 now? Just 1 season? Sammy's been there, and they were using him finally, but then he went completely non-existent in the Rams game. Let's actually look at that stat. Look at that stat. I want to see that. Show me the stat. Sammy Watkins, 1 reception, 23 yards. Sammy Watkins had 1 reception on 23 yards. He goes, 11 hours ago, Sammy Watkins goes, it would be a pleasure to return to the Rams. Well, that's all fine and dandy, Sammy. But I saw you at the end of the game talking to Julio Jones, so don't you dare play that nonsense. Let's read this article from the 3-letter network. Sammy Watkins heads into free agency coming off a dismal playoff performance. LA Rams receiver, 1 reception for 23 yards. It was a predictable end to the mediocre season for Watkins, who was traded.
They got a 2nd and 19.
You know what? Actually, I think this is the Sammy Watkins play. Jared Goff rips past to Sammy Watkins for 23 yards. Let's see. Sammy goes down the right. Easy little screen. It was more like a post route than anything. Watkins is a clear number 3 wide receiver behind Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. And Sean McVay's offense. Wilkins also trailed running back as a running option for the Rams. He is probably going to be moving on. He goes, the article goes, given the status as a free agent, lack of consistent production, and LA's need to pay other players, cough, cough, Aaron Donald, cough, cough, it makes sense that Watkins would move on in 2018. He's only 24-year-old wide receiver, however, said after the playoff loss that he wouldn't mind returning. You see this team building something, and the coaching staff and the players. It would be a pleasure to come back. It's a business. I'm looking forward to talking to the coach and seeing where my future is at. So he's going to look at the Rams and go, here's the contract size that I want. And the Rams are going to go, well, we got to pay Aaron Donald. So they're going to pay Aaron Donald. And then Sammy Watson's going to go, well, I'm going to listen to some other offers. And Atlanta should come running to his door and go, hey, look, win or lose the Super Bowl this year, we need your services because Mohamed Sanu, Sammy Watkins, and Julio Jones is a nightmare for opposing defenses. Throwing us together with the likes of Hardy and then whoever we pick up in the draft or as an unrestricted free agent rookie, we can put something together that can have some depth. Let's go on to Aiden Carter. Good to see you. If you can see the man, if you can see the man's name on the back of the jersey, don't block him. Sorry, I was reading something. Perhaps a full offseason in McVay's offense could make a difference for Watkins' future production, but he is likely to have a team-friendly deal to remain with the Rams. On a plus side for Watkins, he didn't miss. He'd likely have to take, a team-friendly deal with the Rams. Didn't miss a game due to injury in 2017 and still owns the exciting speed and size combo that made him the number 4 overall pick in 2014. Entering free agency, Watkins could take the Alshon Jeffrey route, inking a 1-year prove-it deal with a receiver-needy squad in hopes of crashing in down the line. If he wants to take that route, I don't have any problem giving him $10 million and saying, okay, here's $10 million. Come play for us in Atlanta. Julio Sanu, Hardy. Grab yourself another vet wide receiver or go grab yourself a youngin' from the draft late. And now you got yourself one heck of a wide receiving core. Plus, you still got Tico for next year because next year is his last year in Atlanta. Still got Freeman on a multi-year deal. You extend Matt Ryan to a contract of 3 or 4 years. You throw yourself into the arms of, you throw yourself at the table with Matthews, and you tell him, hey, look, you've been injured. You need to take a team-friendly deal, or you can head out and we can go grab somebody in the draft. What's your thoughts? And Matthews will have to think about it, won't he? He'll have to think about it because he's only known Atlanta, and he would have to go out into a market that's not going to be friendly to him because they're going to look at his injury early, and they're going to lowball him too. So he might want to come and re-sign with us. Will Matt Ryan retire as a Falcon? Yeah, I think he will. I think Matt Ryan will retire as an Atlanta Falcon. Whatever contract we give him next may be his last contract. So he might be probably looking at another 4-year deal or something like that. And that's where we will have the end of it. Maybe his next contract is his last contract. Let's see here. Looking at a couple of things here. Looking at a couple of things. Julio's contract coming up the year after Matt's. We look at the Julio Jones contract. Julio Jones contract. Here, I'll pull it up for you guys right now. Julio Jones contract, 28 years old, 7 years of experience, out of the University of Alabama, taking number 6 overall, round 1 in 2011. He is under contract until 2020, and then he's unrestricted free agent in 2021. So, up to us. There is a potential out in 2018 for us. And contract's actually not bad because 2018 will be paying him $1 million less. Yep, about $1 million less in a cap hit. And then 2019 will be paying him $2 million more, so only $1 million more than we were paying him this year. And then in 2020, he's only making $11 million with no incentives. So that's not a bad contract. Six more elite years. Depends on what Julio wants to do. If we can get a Super Bowl this year or next year in Atlanta, then I'm pretty sure Julio will go, I've done everything that I possibly can for this city. But if we don't win a championship by the time his contract comes up, which is in 2020, I believe, right? 2020. By the time his contract's up in 2021, if we win a championship by 2020, I think he'll hang up the boots. And then we will go grab ourselves another wide receiver. It's a perpetual round and round and round. You got to figure it out, you know? Him and Matt could definitely both retire by 2021 or 2022. Matt's contract, I think, is about the same. I think Matt's contract is about the same. Let's look at Matt Ryan's contract really quick. Let me open that. Matt is under contract until next year. Next year is his last year under contract. Oh, come on. Matt Ryan's last contract year is 2018. He's set to make $21 million. So I'd go to Matt and I'd be like, hey, we need to cut that number down just a little bit. Maybe make more like incentive-based stuff on your contract so that we can get you an offensive line that's not going to get you killed. Don't think Matt Ryan will have a problem with that since he's made his big payday back in 2013. What was this? A 5-year, $103 million contract with a signing bonus of $28 million, average salary of $20 million. Guaranteed at signing is $30 million, total guaranteed $42 million, and free agent unrestricted in 2019. So, you know, if you're talking cap numbers, and he'll be 32 next year, his prime years are still to be played. If we put a 4-year contract on him, then we're talking about 36, 37 when Matt Ryan retires, and that's good time to go and lace up those boots, you know? It was an insane contract, but you wouldn't let Matt Ryan go, would you? Jalen Collins, I don't know if he'll ever get a chance on another team, but if they do, he will be a project player. Definitely. I'd like to thank Dan Quinn for making drafts fun to watch again. Yeah, man. Matt is making like 100 million a game. That's crazy. Or excuse me, 900,000. 900 million. Whoa. 900,000 a game. Yeah, that's what's up. Been watching football for flinch at most deals. Silly question, but I'm gonna throw this one out. How old is my chat? How old is everybody in the chat? You don't have to answer. I'm not gonna get into your personal lives and whatnot. I turn 27 tomorrow. I turn 27 years old tomorrow. So some of you guys will be like, "What a youngin'," and then some peeps will be like, you know, you're a little bit older than me, just a little bit. Raitu's 22. Kalon's 21. Cool. I got the what I like to call new generation NFL fans who want to see the film, want to see tape, want to realize what's fake and what's not. Get straight to the point, you know? Empire 1's 15 years old. Cool, man. Soon to be 23 like Robert Alford. That's hilarious. So I guess my number is Ricardo Allen. 27. There's no, are there any good number 27 players in the NFL? Anybody wear number 27 that I would be like, yeah, that's cool. Also, as I did state on Twitter, the wife is getting me the Takk McKinley jersey. So I'm excited. I'm like, oh boy, my birthday's gonna be lit. I'm gonna get the Takk McKinley jersey. It's gonna be great. Ugh. AZ. I thought that no, he's 37, isn't he? Yeah, he's 37. My bad. Alford is not 27, he's 37. So KZ. I don't hate KZ though. I should do a film breakdown on him. You guys watch the kid from San Diego State, the teammate of KZ, who took over, and he's going to be entering the draft. And he's like 6'2". He's a corner. And I'm kind of like, I might want to get him late round. Draft him. Draft all the San Diego State players, quick. When KZ finally starts with the picks, he'll get. So anyway, let's do a let's see if I can actually do scene 2. Let me set this up. Let's do a draft. Hell, why not? Let's do a draft. First pick. Do a first pick draft. Let me do it on the screen too, so you guys can see it. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Oh, burp. Wow, they have us picking us 27 now. Holy moly. Oh man. Let's do a draft. I think people will have some fun with it. Let me end this stream because this is an hour long already. And let me do a new stream, a new notification for everybody, and then you guys just pop into the new stream. How about that? Because nobody's going to want to pop in this stream. And I actually started this stream in a weird way. Like I had it already running, and then I made it public, and nobody got the announcement. So let me start it up and let me do a new stream. Cool. I will be right back, guys.